Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I am your host, Dujane Bland. And today we're going to talk about two interesting things that have gone on in the NFL. And we're going to take a look at last night's game as well and break that down. And we're going to also make our final picks on this week's games this Sunday as we're going into week 2 of the NFL season. Now, last night's game was quite good. Now, I know I said that Thursday night games would be garbage, like they have been in the past, but they served up a good game last night. Very enjoyable game to watch. Both teams really getting after it. We knew the Jets were going to come and be fired up. They didn't want to go down 0-2 in this division, in this AFC East. And Buffalo showed a little bit of offense. Well, at least I thought so. Apparently, Rex Ryan and the powers that be did not think that was the case, sending offensive coordinator Greg Roman packing. Which is very interesting to me, being that their defense gave up 37 points last night. Now, I understand there's a lot of pressure on Rex, and his seat is extremely hot. I understand that. He's got to produce. But after 2 games, you let go of your offensive coordinator? I mean, is that supposed to send some kind of message to Bills Nation, and all of a sudden they're going to be okay and feel like you mean business because you let go of your offensive coordinator and your defense allowed 37 points last night? Now, I'm not saying that anybody should be fired after 2 games. I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand what's your thought process in letting go of somebody after 2 games and your defense looked putrid in the secondary. They struggled to get pass rush, which we knew that they would. I said that before in the Ravens game, that I didn't like either team. And I especially didn't like the Buffalo Bills because who's going to get pass rush? And again, it showed up last night. Who's going to get pass rush? And they didn't stop the run very well. Matt Forte had a great night, getting 3 touchdowns. The secondary, obliterated. They had like 3 guys over 100 yards, one close to 100 yards. But we firing the offensive coordinator. Not looking good, Bills fans. But hey, by next year, none of that staff will be there. Because Rex is gone. Both of those 2 guys will be on the couch. Or at some fishing hole or something. But they won't be coaching the Bills next year. Which brings me to head coach Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher signs a 3-year contract extension. Yes, the Rams offer him a contract extension, which is funny to me. I mean, this guy, in his 22 years as a head coach, has 6 appearances in the playoffs, 1 Super Bowl appearance. His time here with the Los Angeles Rams, no playoff appearances, only 7 wins as his highest total, not one 500 season. Not one. His his percentage, his winning percentage as the Rams head coach is 42%. Awful. But yet we handing this guy a contract extension. A contract extension after that mud hole stomping that they received on Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers, where their offensive possessions were punts, one interception, and an end of game. That contract extension. Very, very puzzling to me for a guy, and I don't get me wrong, I understand it is very difficult to coach. A lot of things, a lot of long nights, a lot of things that need to be done. But when we talk about the NFL and when it pertains to certain coaches, they want to see wins. And I'm going to tell you right now, with that Los Angeles fan base, they're excited. They're excited because the team is back, the nostalgia, the whole 9 yards, right? But if you don't get that winning going, that stadium going to be empty. Because we know, look at the Lakers, look at the Clippers. I hate to say it, they're fair weather. And if you're not winning, well, they not showing up. Not a good look for the NFL. And it's not going to be a good look for that team if they don't start producing some wins. But it's very interesting to me how some people have leadways to continue to be recycled and continue to hang around and have jobs while others get sent packing after 1 year. They don't even get any kind of leeway at all. And they were handed the ship in disarray and expect for it to be patched and fixed and ready to go within a year. And guys like this hang around for years at a program and have not produced one single winning season. Something wrong with that picture. Really need to question your ownership as well. Not good. Not a good look at all. Well, this Sunday, it's going to be a lot of great matchups, and we broke down 8 of them in our last show. And we're going to break down the last 8, starting off with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. I like the Texans in this game. I like the fact that they're at home. Lamar Miller is going to be able to run the ball very well, and they have the ability to stretch the field against this defense. J.J. Watt and Janavian Clowney has looked good together, and that's going to be a tandem. That's going to be a tandem for them to deal with. I like the Texans in that game. We got the Seahawks and the Rams. Rams opening up their first home game. Not looking good, bruh. That's an 0-2 start. We don't even need to talk about that. Seattle's winning. Easy. Now, a game that I think is going to be one of the best 4 o'clock games, 4 o'clock Eastern games, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. Jameis Winston did not look like a second-year player against the Atlanta Falcons in week 1. Very good job of distributing the football. Got all of his playmakers involved. He dropped some dimes in the end zone. Looked calm, cool, and collected. You got Doug Martin. And their defense actually did a very good job of bottling up the Atlanta offense, although I feel like the Atlanta offense has done things to bottle themselves up. They shoot themselves in the foot. But the Arizona Cardinals took a punch in the gut from Garoppolo and the Patriots. It's a home game for them again, and I expect for them to exact some revenge. It's going to be a hard-fought game, though. I think it's going to be a game you definitely want to watch. But I'm going to take the Cardinals in a close one. I'm going to take the Cardinals in a close one, but they have to win this one, man. They don't want to end up being down 0-2, and it's early, but they don't want to be down 0-2 with Seattle, knowing they're good. They basically just got an extra bye week playing the Rams. So I expect to see the Cardinals to rebound this weekend. Jacksonville and the San Diego Chargers. You know, this is a tough one because San Diego with Keenan Allen and that offense would have been something to reckon with. There's a lot of new pieces over in Jacksonville. They have a lot of new defensive pieces, but I think this is going to work out to their favor. Not having Allen out there, that's a drop off for the Chargers. I think this will enable this Jacksonville Jaguar defense to be able to key in and be able to bring some pressure to Phillip Rivers. And then I like what they can do on the offensive side of the ball as well, is test that defense of the Chargers. If they can get them to go 3 and out a little bit, tire out their defense, they definitely have a shot to win this game. And I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars in an upset here. I think they are on the up and up, and I think with that offense and being there, that ability to be able to put pressure on that defensive secondary, they're going to do an excellent job of that, and they're going to take advantage of that opportunity to kind of corral that San Diego offense as well. Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. Boy, that's tough for Falcons fans. I smell 0-2 coming. Unfortunately, your offense isn't helping your defense now. And I hadn't really been a big fan of Kyle Shanahan as I have covered the Washington Redskins. And when he was there, you see a lot of similarities of what they're doing on offense. And a lot of times they shoot themselves in the foot. And this Oakland Raiders defense is awesome. Defensively, they get after it and they make plays. You saw it. They did give up 34 points though. It's points to be had. Don't get me wrong, but it was Drew Brees too. It was Drew Brees in that dome. They're going to be home this week, and I tell you what, I like what they're going to do. I like what they do on offense. It's going to be a test for that defense of the Atlanta Falcons, but I'm taking the Raiders to win this one, and I think it might be big, at least 14 points. At least 14 points on that one, but I'm taking Oakland. Oakland goes 2-0 after week 2. Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. That one's going to be a tough game. It's always a tough game. It's going to be the first time that Luck has faced the Broncos without this whole Peyton Manning thing going on. But I'm taking the Broncos. I like their defense. I don't think Trevor Siemian is going to be as great as he was or as solid as he was before. They're going to have to rely on that running game a little bit more. But I don't like the Indianapolis Colts offensive line, and I think the defense for the Broncos definitely outmatches their offensive line. I'm going with the Broncos. Now, Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota, first home game. And I look for Adrian Peterson to get back on track against this Packers defense. Now the question is, who's going to start at their quarterback? They're not saying, I think it's Sam Bradford. With that being said, I'm going to take the Vikings in an upset. This is always a close game. It's a division matchup. We know how this goes. I'm going to take the Vikings there. And the Eagles and Bears defense on the backside, horrible. And I don't think they'll be able to protect Jay Cutler. I'm going with the Eagles to beat the Bears at their home. Well, enjoy this weekend's games, and we appreciate you listening to the show. There's several ways you can get at us here. You can chat with me on Twitter at NotBland21. You can email the show at straightshootingst@gmail.com. And you can listen to this show on YouTube and SoundCloud and various others.